So it's Friday night. I'm watching Netflix, waiting on my DoorDash order to get here. And this documentary just popped up on my feed. Now, I've been really watching a lot of Netflix lately. I've really been on YouTube and Prime Video, but that's another story for another day. Now, when I watched this documentary, I was not expecting it to turn out like this because my mind is actually blown. But I do hear people talk about this situation a lot on YouTube about, who you should trust and who you cannot trust. Now, if you're interested in watching this, you may want to go back to Netflix and watch it because I'm about to spoil the whole video because this is the craziest story I've ever heard, and it's crazy because it's true. So this is literally like a 15-year-old girl in her first relationship, and she's been with Owen for about 2 years, and she's going into ninth grade. She thinks everything is good. She do have her problems with a couple girls in school, but nothing too crazy until one day she received this text message telling her that she needs to break up with Owen because she isn't good enough for him. So in my mind, I'm thinking like he got to be cheating on her. He got to be somebody at school because there was a lot of conversation that she was sharing with him that the person that was texting her knew about. So this went on for weeks. She ended up telling her mom, which her mom actually works at the school because she's a volunteer coach. And the mom ended up getting connection with her boyfriend's parents because he was also receiving text messages, and they were having to try to get to the bottom of it. And actually, it was getting so bad that they had to go to the school so they can put some measure in place because it was just getting worse and worse. Now, this is where it gets quite confusing because the finger pointing begins. Now, there was a whole lot of girls that could be jealous of them because they were the golden couple, so they really did not have much to go off of. But then she started scratching her head and realized that he does have a girl best friend, and she does know a lot about their relationship, so they thought it was Chloe that was having a different number and sending these text messages. So Chloe was like, girl, just because I don't like you don't mean that I'm a hater. It doesn't mean that I have time to make a fake number to be texting you. So it's not me. But everybody did think it was her because they didn't really like each other. So they was pointing at this girl Chloe so bad. Her parents had to come to the school, and they were like, oh, well, your dad's a cop, so he gonna lie for you. So she ended up getting her data extracted on her phone, and she ended up clearing her name. So actually, it turns out that she was not the bully. So by this time, she's pretty much receiving like 30 to 60 text messages a day and getting very aggressive. And then she was also sending pictures. So there was one picture that was sent to her phone that people was finding quite sketchy because it was around like Christmas time, and it had to be from somebody that was in the house. So then they thought that it was Owen's cousin. And as soon as I seen Owen's cousin get on, the TV stream for her interview, I already knew that it wasn't her. I can just pretty much tell from her voice that she was actually a sweet girl. And she was just saying, like, I know I'm quiet and stuff like that, but I promise it was not me. And then later on that night, that girl phone started getting cyber stalked by the same person that was cyber stalking Lauren, Owen, and now her. So things are starting to get tricky because we're trying to figure out who is the person. It has to be someone that's around her. It has to be somebody at school. It could be a family member. Like, who is the stalker? So time is passing, and they kind of sort of reach a cold front, like there was no leads or anything like that, and literally a year has passed and nothing has been done. So literally while I was watching this whole documentary, I was asking why didn't her parents change the phone number, and that would literally end the whole conversation. But it's quite weird that her mom didn't want to change the number, but she had the audacity to continue to go to the sheriff's office asking them what's going on with the investigation, but you didn't want to change your daughter's number. But even after all these text messages happening, the text messages keep getting worse, saying that basically he's cheating on her and that he doesn't want her and you're not putting out. So she decided to break up with Owen. He actually thought it was a good idea because she started to believe all the text messages, and honestly, if the person that was stalking them want them to break up, then she might as well break up with them. So that's what happened. Now the case ending up turned cold because they could not find any leads. So all these text messages and cyber stalking continued until about a year. She no longer got no man. They're telling her that her life is worthless and that, she needs to unalive herself. And she's basically trying to recruit her ex-boyfriend to tell her that Lauren is worthless and he shouldn't be with her anymore and that they can give him what he needs. But they were still trying to pressure this girl into doing something that she doesn't need to do. Luckily, the FBI got into the case. They started investigating and they ended up tracking the fake number to an IP address. And once they ended up finding this number, they could not believe who the person was the whole time. And when I found out who this person was, I literally had my mouth dropped on the floor, because when I tell you guys that this person was everywhere, I wasn't expecting it. This person was helping them with the investigation, and it turns out to be her own mother. Yes, her mom that works at the school, the mom that birthed her, the mom that she's living in the house with every day, literally cyber stalked her own daughter, bullied her, had her break up with her boyfriend, called her ugly, called her worthless, told her to unalive herself every single day while living with her daughter in the house, pretending that everything is fine. So this explains why she didn't want to get that number changed, because if she would have changed the number, it would have came suspicious. If the person, she changed numbers and then they have their number, she would have been the person that they would have been looking at. So to avoid that altogether, this is why she decided to continue to have her daughter have that same number. Number 2, she was basically sending some explicit text messages not only to her daughter but to her daughter's ex-boyfriend. So that tells me that she was actually obsessed and jealous of her daughter over a 15-year-old boy. And the only person that caught on to this was Owen's mother, because it really doesn't make any sense. Like, she's coming up with all these excuses, but she's literally saying that her own mother broke up her daughter's first relationship over her son because she wanted to be with her son. And then the boy was basically saying that her mom was being weird towards him. She would literally, do anything for him. She was literally like slicing up his, steaks when he comes over. But my thing is like, why he didn't say nothing before? And honestly, for him to just be leaving her high and dry, I was kind of suspicious that they were leaving some things out, because she was actually acting like that she was his side chick or something like that. It was a very weird situation. So I'm definitely going to have to agree with Owen's mother that she was basically jealous of her daughter because she wanted her man. And she was saying that she don't understand why she was talking all this mess about her own daughter. She doesn't feel like that. She was feeling like that towards herself. And I call BS. Like, you literally is jealous of your daughter. She's in a relationship. You're in high school being a volunteer teacher, watching and monitoring her life. You see that people actually do like her. She's good in sports, and you are so jealous of that you literally bullied and cyber stalked your daughter, all because of jealousy. And she was trying to excuse her behavior, wants to bring up her past trauma, when she literally sat on a couch on a blanket, rubbed her feet together on her burner phone for a whole year, and texted and stalked her daughter and telling her to unalive herself, telling her to break up with her boyfriend, all because she actually hates her daughter. She hates her daughter because she's more pretty, she's more attractive, people like her, she's younger than her, and she wants what her daughter has. So comment down below if you actually seen this documentary, if you heard about it on TikTok. But what did you guys think when you saw this or when you heard about this? Because It was very crazy because I was not expecting it to turn out exactly how it turned out. And for the dad, I really don't understand how the dad didn't know if you figured that she had multiple phones. And then we found out that she actually had experience in IT. So I'm not sure why the dad wasn't putting two to two together. He was literally like losing his mind in the house. It was causing a lot of tension and stuff like that. And she did all this because she was jealous, and then she didn't even have no job, and she was fake going to work every day. Remember, I told you guys that she was a volunteer at the school, so that means that she wasn't getting paid. And she trying to act like that she's a victim. Like, this is crazy, but thank you guys for coming to my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.